students, good morning. Most welcome to the Rita Das classes. I request all the new viewers to subscribe my channel. Today I am going to teach you 11th poem of class 10th. The poem name is For Annie Gregory, and in this poem the poet is William Butler Yeats. First of all, we have to know about the poets. William Butler Yeats was an Irish poet and nationalist. He was born in Dublin. His ideas and works were influenced by the religious and national turmoil in Ireland. He loved the Irish folklore. He embraced metaphysical philosophy. Folklore and mysticism dominated his thoughts and poetry. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923. After knowing the poet, we have to know the introduction of the poem. For Annie Gregory is one of the best love poems by William Butler Yeats. In this poem, the love between a man and a woman is presented. Love is done by the core of one's heart. It does not matter a little on love if the color of the hair or the skin changes. The poet is in the deep love for Annie Gregory and wants to love her in all forms. After the introduction, we have to know the poem, and in this poem, the difficult words, and the difficult words were despair means hopelessness, ramparts means lock of hair around ear, hair dye means color used for hair, yesternight means last night, declare to announce, text means written material. Now the explanation of the first stanza. And never shall a young man thrown into despair by those great honey-colored ramparts at your ear love you for yourself alone and not your yellow hair. I have told you that in this stanza the speaker said that, and the conversation was going on between a young man and the young woman. And the young man was saying to the young woman that never shall a young man fall into the despair or hopelessness by seeing the gorgeous or the honey-colored hair of the young woman. And here he cannot see the beauty of the inner beauty of the young woman. He loved her for herself alone, not for the yellow hair. In the second stanza, it was said that, but I can get a hair dye and set such color there, brown or black or carrot, that young man in despair may love me for myself alone and not my yellow hair. Here the young woman was saying that the physical appearance or the outer beauty is not permanent. It changes time to time. So she said that she could dye her hair and change into brown, black or carrot. Still the young man in despair loved her for herself alone or her yellow hair. And after that the third stanza, I heard an old religious man but yesternight declare that he had found a text to prove that only God, my dear, could love you for yourself alone and not your yellow hair. In the third stanza or the final stanza, the poem, the speaker replied to the young woman that he loved for the internal and not the external beauty. The speaker mentioned an old religious who announced that he had found a text to prove that it was written in the text that only God is capable of looking beyond external beauty. Here the speaker means that humans do not have the depth and understanding to look inside the soul of a person. Humans are always carried away by the shine and glitter of the outer beauty, and they never care to know the person behind the beautiful appearance. Therefore, the speaker concluded that only the God can love anyone, God can love the young woman only for herself, not for her outer beauty. After the explanation of the poem, we have to know the summary of the poem. The poem for Annie Gregory, written by William Butler Yeats, shows a disagreement between the two people, most probably the poet and the young woman on whom this poem is named. The poem started with the poet telling that the young man who get loved by her the golden hair shall only loved her for her hair, not her inner self. At this remark, the young woman just said that she could change her color of the hair. The young man in love with her still loved her for her true self and not her hair. But the poet then told her that yesterday night he had heard a holy man declare, after reading some sacred text, that only God and no one else love a person for their inner self. Thus only God can love the young woman for herself, not her yellow hair. After the summary, we have to know the central idea of the poem. The poem for Annie Gregory by William Butler Yeats is about the perception of love by different people. The poem is in the form of a dialogue between two people, Annie Gregory and another speaker, whose identity has not been made clear by the poet. Therefore, it could be anyone's, Annie's lover or a friend or the poet himself. The poem shows the true nature of the humans as they are always carried away by the outer beauty, which is insignificant, and never pay attention to the true nature of the persons. Men always judge women by their outer appearance alone, but beauty exists within us and not outside. After the central idea of the poem, we have to know the conclusion of the poem. The conclusion of the poem is that the true love is never lied in the physical appearance.